Hello, everyone here. Thank you for coming. And I see a lot of new faces today. And I hope that you will find what you are looking for. We are very fortunate today to have a lot of online information, and those who make it physically, and no offense to those who are at home, will have to make a special effort to make it here. And I hope that that effort is worthwhile for you. Thank you. Just generally, I wanted to get to know you, not from the energy perspective, but maybe from your experience perspective. So I can maybe custom the presentation a little bit to those who are here and to those who are at home. If you could, at home you have a little window, you could say hello and share and ask questions and share. And here you have it a little bit easier. Just wanted maybe for you to introduce yourself, if you may, and just share with me what kind of experience you have with energy. Have you done energy? Have you done meditation? Do you do it regularly? Are you a healer, a teacher? How long have you done it? And what attracted you maybe to come here today? What was the one thing that made you decide to take some time from your evening and come and join us today? Maybe we'll start with this one.
Sure. My name is Mike. I've been, was an engineer, left that career. Now my full time is healing and teaching, actually.
Very
good. I was in the booth right next to you.
Right.
A short conversation, actually, really good conversation. That's what attracted me here. I was about to decide not to come, maybe because I'm coming from the West End, and the energy was right for me to come here today. So whatever's going to come out of it, there was going to be some sort of connection. And we're just focused on awakening people as well as myself.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you for coming. Yes, hi.
My name's Audrey. I came today because I went to the booth on Saturday morning.
Right.
I actually met some good friends that are here tonight at the same time. And I guess somewhat learning still about the chakras and about energy and the ability to move it. I believe in it.
Right.
I've seen firsthand many good things happen.
Right.
You've been here with your reading, and
Okay.
I'm here to even learn more
Right, thank you.
and increase my own learning.
Right, beautiful. Thank you. Maybe behind.
I'm David.
Right.
I came to the event with my family, and we all had a reading done by you, and just really impressed at how intuitive and accurate you were on a lot of your description without giving you too much information. When I was younger, I was told I had a lot of healing energy and explored that for a little while, and then had a few bad experiences in different situations of feeling really bad and relevant energy, and kind of stepped away from it because I was still a teenager, so didn't really have a sensibility to control or learning how to shield myself. And I feel like I'm at a place now where I would like to start exploring more of that again, bringing it back together.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's very cohesive, right? Yeah, thank you. You would.
I'm Charlotte.
Hi.
I'm friends with David and his family, so we were there on Saturday as media, actually.
Right.
And we just stumbled upon your booth, and all did your karma test or diagnostic. And it was just really interesting because we did not share anything with you, but you read all four of us.
Yeah.
Really accurately, and for me, like a lot of our business revolves around wellness, and so we're always trying to explore new areas and modalities for healing for our readers. And I personally have what I think is like some trapped emotion in certain parts of my body that I haven't been able to heal, I think, from some past trauma. So when I was at Wonderlust, covering that event in the summer, I did some great breathing work, and it was very apparent to me in that workshop that that's what was going on in my body. So I think it was a bit serendipitous that we wandered into your booth on Saturday and then came tonight, because I think that's where I'm at, you know, not just for work, discovering new things for us to write about, but
Not as a media only,
yeah,
but for
no,
personal interest
you
as
know,
well.
because I really feel like that's where I'm at right at my critical mass right now is figuring out like either the breathing or meditation or whatever it is to shift my body energy.
Right.
So,
Good.
yeah.
Perfect.
We'll see.
It's a good
See if
step
a
forward.
miracle can happen.
It's a miracle. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Hi, my name's Tony, and I've had this energy ever since I was a kid. I just didn't know. It's hypersensitive, hypervisual, hyper many things I didn't know. I just, you know, I noticed a lot of things, and I thought it's just normal coincidence.
Right.
But as you start to wake up, you start thinking, you know, like you start seeing things in a different light. You start talking to people who have similar experiences. So when I was like 18, I went to see a doctor, and this doctor was like, went to the best schools, well-educated, boarding schools and everything, and he was clueless. Well, the way he spoke to me, it's like he understood everything. They all think they know. This guy really does. I mean, they know about books and reading, academics, and he's school, gives speeches all over North America. When it comes to energy, he's clueless. I realize that now.
So you didn't feel that connection, that he actually heard you.
The medical community, this doctor in particular, very good doctor, very well regarded doctor.
Right.
He's got degrees everywhere.
But his degrees are not in energy,
No, they're not.
in the body.
Yeah, his are medical degrees, and he's a brilliant doctor.
Right.
But he wasn't able to help me, and actually gave me some pills that made it worse. And
They know you.
yeah, they numb you. They make it worse when this energy can be used for. Now I'm beginning to understand the energy. I meditate, crystals, and the funny thing is, I don't think men admit this, but we have like male energy and female energy.
Right.
I think this is like a female energy, and it's like you know, like I grew up in an all-guy school where everyone had to be tough and rough,
Right.
and women are like they feel this and they feel this, like, you know, because it was a male-dominant construction too.
Right.
But then you start to realize this stuff is real. Because my mother, she would say things and you'd think, well, then I started to understand this stuff is real. And the more you develop it, the more you learn it, the more you see.
So what brought you here today?
Oh, when I came to see you, you were able to read the energy. Exactly. You explained everything, and I never met you before. Because a lot of, you know, in this area, there's a lot of people that pretend to know, but then there's the few that really know. So you meet someone, because I've met other people too, that really understand it and know, you pick it up quick. I'll know, like I'll know if someone's lying to me because I'll just pick it up. And when you read your chart, like, this guy's accurate. Very accurate, because I have a lot of energy, and I pick it up. I'm sure everybody in this room does.
Thank you.
And you're very good.
So I hope I can take it to the next level for you as well. Yes, please. Peter.
About 12 years ago, I felt that I have healing energy, so I went for a Reiki teacher, and I stumbled on Eric, and he was teaching how to raise your inner energy, and I liked that a lot. So 12 years ago, I started to come to Eric, and I'm still coming, and it's better than ever because I'm learning more and more and more.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, good. My name is Nikki. Again, I was blown away by how you just looked at me and read everything perfectly. And you even said, I know what happened in December 2012, and that blew me away. When I'm around people like this, I feel very positive, and I feel the energy as well, and I'm very happy, and I feel like I'm at home. But for me, it's getting choked up. Sorry. It's one of the low anxiety. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm a little emotional.
It's good. It's good. It's a truth, right? Yes. Hi, Savannah.
I went to yesterday,
Yes.
just she told me how accurate you were with her.
Yes.
So I came with her, I just want to learn more. That's all.
Thank you.
She's very intuitive as well. She reads.
Beautiful. Right. Sure. Because I kind of skipped you a little bit. Might as well.
My search sort of like theaters, so it's
Yes.
been years that I sort of kept, after meeting you at a show like what we had on the weekend, came back and just continued learning for a number of years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A few
And
years.
that's been my experience with energy.
And what impressed you the most over the years?
Sort of consistent breakthroughs in the process, it's just things which change at a certain point, like the world would look a little different, like kind of brighter, more inspiring.
Thank
If I have to pick one.
Right. If it's only one, then that.
Hi, my name is Elka. So we are on this journey together. What I like about this method, it's very simple but powerful, and you experience on and your experience. In 15 plus years.
15 plus? Okay. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Evelina. I started attending Eric's meditation classes in 2017. That was the time when it was my lowest time. So I came in, and the first time when I attended Eric's meditation classes, I experienced something incredible, like a connection with my own being internally. And through this journey, I have noticed that there is an internal growth, and I continue doing it.
Thank you.
I joined Eric because of that. Because we used to go to the shows, and just say, I have to go see this guy. It's like, it's so amazing. Like, okay, I'll go try. So I went like you at the booth, and he read me, and I'm a very intellectual, very science-based girl. Everything else goes through my mind. It's an inside joke here. But I also am very intuitive, and I do feel that it sense these gifts that we're reading. And also, I love his approach and also the meditation, because I tried the meditation sitting for 1 hour, 2 hours, and still, but this is really intuitive, follows the core. And his way is very loving, very guiding, and not at all judgment, and takes us as we are, where we're here in our journey. And you realize how, and what I feel from Eric is that he sincerely wants to help us and guide us. So that's where I'm really Eric.
Thank you.
And I'm constantly learning, and I do feel you can feel like my journey. And we all have our ups and downs and days, and we are awesome, and days, how are we doing? Right? And so going through with these guys, and it's physically, or when I'm not here, and we all, he's awesome.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so hello, Jennifer. Okay. Today we're gonna do something different. I heard where you are, and I can feel where you are, and I decided that we will do something very, very different than we usually do. The title of today's presentation was Stop Your Anxiety. And And we will try and see what that anxiety is, or maybe we don't have to label that feeling as an anxiety. Maybe there's other descriptions to it, because anxiety is just such a strong word and such a labeling and such a. But often I use it because there's some kind of a people recognize themselves in that place, and I want to speak to them. I want to know that I can help. But ultimately, very simply, I'm just gonna see if that makes sense to you. We're gonna define anxiety as something that you feel inside. There's some gap, there's some emptiness, there's something that kind of coming from within, which ultimately does not always logically make sense, that somehow feels that you are unable to fully be yourself. Somehow something internal that you have inside needs to awaken, needs to come out, and if it doesn't, it's gonna blow up from within, yet logically it doesn't always make sense. And you're trying to find ways to, through information, learn about what maybe if I learn this and I learn that and I learn this and I try this, maybe that will somehow explain to me and answer those questions which are often untangible, yet you've tried this and that and you still feel that pressure from within, almost a potential that needs to awaken, yet no information seems to help awaken it. And that feeling inside creates anxiety. And usually that anxiety is felt by people who are most sensitive, most capable, most talented. In the old days, that anxiety was not even known. Nobody knew that anxiety in the old days, unless you were borderline genius, borderline, world talent, right? In art, in music, in dance, in science, in literature, wherever that was, only those felt that strong emotional pull. Today, we find a lot more of us have that powerful feeling inside that needs to be explored, that needs to be awakened. And we're borderline geniuses in a sense, yet that anxiety, that feeling ultimately becomes that which is holding us back instead of that which is helping us to not only awaken ourselves, but also be able to share those gifts with others. And we feel ultimately that pressure inside, not clearly understanding what it is, searching and searching and searching for answers, and often finally, coming to a point where what we do. And that is what I see as that anxiety is. And I believe that the solution, just because we cannot conceptualize it, just because we cannot contain that feeling inside, the solution cannot be found in more information, in any new knowledge that you can acquire. And I believe it can be found in something I call transformation. And transformation is something unique. And if you listen carefully, I'm going to say it. It may surprise you, it may not. Transformation, in my vocabulary, the way I mean it, is going or opening yourself to something that you did not know to desire. Opening yourself to something that you did not know to desire. Then, and only then, it's not information. It is something that ultimately would surprise you inside when you experience it. You didn't know to desire. And the reason it surprises you inside, because that is the type of experience that is now revealed to you. You were not searching for it. You could not define it in your desire or in your need. You could not find it in either desire or need. It had to be revealed to you. In a sense, in a process of pulling, something that pulls you towards it, as opposed to something that pushes you from it. Needs and desires are usually based on something we are lacking, something we are missing, that we know to define, on a certain level of pain, on a certain level of experience that we had and we don't want to have it again, and we're looking for answers for it. What I'm talking about is something different. I'm talking about opening yourself to that which you did not know to desire, which was not uncomfortable, that you're trying to fix. That does not come from fear of repetition of discomfort of some kind. You're searching for answers and solutions. It's not a traditional healing. It's an awakening. And in the process, a miracle happens, because the moment you shift the perspective, you find new value in old things, you redefine the information you already know and have suddenly within that. The healing is a byproduct. The calmness is a state of being, it's not the goal. And it's something that can only, I found, and maybe you'll agree with me, can only happen from the inside out. Where the unity, internal unity happens first, and then the feeling arrives. When the internal unity comes first, and then the feeling and the thought arrives. Where the inner unity happens first, and then the feeling, the thought, and the physical body responds. It responds with opening up when you're happy, and when you are stressed, it closes down. Body. But as the body closes down, every single organ, system, cell closes down. If it can be seen in your language, it can be contained in your thoughts, and then, of course, your reality. The way you see reality, what you notice and what you don't notice, is now defined by that state inside. It's not defined by what's outside of you. It's not defined by what I say or what you hear or what you see. It's defined by what your attention is brought to based on the state of unity inside of you. And suddenly your decisions, your actions that follow, or non-actions, would steer you towards a direction based on what you notice, what you don't. The moment you create new unity inside, you begin noticing things you could not notice before. Simple. It's not that they were not there, they were. There always will be. There will be more of them. Question is, are we able to notice it? We don't need to change anything around us. We don't need to change anything in you. You're not here to change, you're here to add this. Add this and see what happens. So ultimately, suddenly we realize that if we recognize that it has to happen first inside, and then suddenly it becomes that byproduct. And for some of you, Arjun, it becomes a byproduct. Energy changes first, and then our emotions suddenly pick that up, and we still can't make sense of it, but it's already there. We know we're feeling it, and then the mind is trying to formulate it, to contain those emotions, and then after that, the physical body picks it up, and we feel it in the body, that change. That energy that's changed, that emotion that we felt, that thought that was clear is now evident in the body, in our posture. In the dark, you watch a person walking. You just see the silhouette of the person. You can tell how they're feeling. By the step, right? By the lightness of their walk, by the posture that they walk in. You can tell how they're feeling. You may mistaken somebody who's walking heavy and slow and down, you may actually mistaken them for being older. They're not older. They could be at any age. They're just everything down. And when you look at that same silhouette or a different silhouette of a different person, and they're straight and they're walking different, you may think that they're very young and they may not be. So youthfulness per se is that state. Curiosity, freedom, flexibility, lightness. Interesting thing would happen. That there's no way you can have a negative thought if your emotions are in unity. You can't, even if you try. You can't even say a word that would be of a negative or criticism or judgment or fear-based. You can't. You try, you can't. When everything seems to be... One of those moments is when you fall in love. If you had the pleasure of falling in love, if you still remember what it feels, right? You walk into the room as if you have wings, and everybody in the room knows. Because there's nothing that could happen that day that is going to be wrong. You won't notice it. No wrong can happen when you're feeling in love. It's that. So ultimately, there's only one comparison I can have in the physical experience to what it feels like to be in unity. It's like being in love. You're rosy in your cheeks, you have a smile on your face, your eyes are sparkly, and you're light on your feet. And nothing else changed. You just felt in unity. And what we want to do today, what we want to try and do today is to see if there is a way that we can feel that same energy, feeling in love, that ultimately would have a very similar experience of being in unity, light on our feet. And in the practical sense, this is what we're gonna practice today. We're gonna do something very interesting that may be a little bit different, that will help us reach that moment. If you can reach it for a moment, then you can learn how to bring that and now empower your everyday life. Now walk into your life out there with that same lightness on your feet. And that's the first step, basically, just getting acquainted with that feeling, that sense. There, of course, after that, we're gonna learn, if you wish, how to use the mind to empower even further that process. Right? Because the mind is still the most powerful thing for us. But as you noticed, in my description of how that energy manifests, the mind was third. Energy first, then emotion, and then thought. Energy, emotion, thought, physical, action, reality. I think we have it here somewhere. No. Oh, no. Want me to write it down?
Yes.
Let me write it down. So this is how it works. Everything begins with energy. Energy resonates. It doesn't travel. Let me just see if we can be seen at home, because I stood up and I may not be. Okay. A little bit higher. That's right, guys. Okay, much better. Remember, energy resonates. When we're going to start the practical part, I'm not going to be sharing my energy with you. The truth is, you don't need my energy. What you need is yours. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna resonate my energy so high that I will empower your energy to rise. I will empower you to receive what you need. And therefore, I could never lose any energy because I'm not sharing it. I'm actually raising mine so high, like two tuning forks, right? Resonate one across from another, right? When they resonate, one starts resonating, and the other one picks up that resonance. But guess what? This one doesn't lose any. Now they both have. So I will be that tuning fork for you later, right? But right now, we will understand that flow of direction of energy. So it's a resonance, not a sharing. Sharing would have been that I would lose it. I would have to give it away. Resonance means that as I resonate, so you resonate. But it awakens your energy as I awaken mine. Makes sense? Very interesting. I know. No giving or receiving. Pure resonance. You just have to align yourself. Aligning means just like listening with your ears, watching with your eyes, agreeing to be together. That's aligning on the energy. Just agreeing to be together. Nothing more. Okay, so energy resonates into our experience, and first it's felt, okay, at the emotional level. Emotions, they're not contained, we can't understand them, they're very confusing, sometimes they're very strong, but they're uncontained yet. And then right after that, that same resonance felt and contained in a thought. Well, we have two markers, let's do the second one. There we go. Trying to contain. The same energy as it resonates, the same energy, now expresses itself and embodied at the physical level. It becomes physical. At every cell, at every organ, at every system, in every joint. Now it's either constructed or released based on the energy, right? And the shift, the change of that same one energy, one resonance expresses, and we just measure it on those levels. We come in and we just measure. How does it feel at the emotion? How is it expressed in our thoughts? How does it express in our physical? We just measure it there, but it's just one energy, same energy. After the physical, it becomes usually an action we take or don't take based on that same energy. It has to come to the world of action. The reason I'm sharing this with you also is because we're going to be doing it in a few moments. Action or non-action, or it freezes us. And then after that, of course, it becomes our reality. Reality, right? It becomes a reality, and it becomes a reality in two ways, okay? And I drew here actually a mirror. It reflects how we are, right? Our reality is our mirror. It's the way we perceive it, it's the lens through which we see it, and it's the way we direct ourselves in it. Where sooner or later, you will find yourself in a new place. Naturally. Because now you will notice things you didn't notice before. You'll understand things you didn't understand before. You'll follow a different feeling. All of us who have feelings, they're also going to guide us differently. Thoughts will guide us differently. It will be natural. Because one changed. A resonance that guides that whole cycle. I call it the order of things. Now, in today's world, we live in what kind of age? Information age, right? This is an information age. In the information age, we have strength. We have a lot of knowledge. And often, because of that strength, because of that availability of information, because we have discovered things, we are somehow tempted to solve our reality through information. It's not our fault. We've been taught that as children. Everything around us, the evidence that we see is that, yes, information can help. Yet, there's more. We did not know. So, thought becomes the first thing that we use to try and solve our reality, by that somehow creating a disconnect between the energy you're in and between the knowledge that you have. And I ultimately call it the gap between being and knowing. There's a gap. That gap between being and knowing, that gap actually, if you go and you learn more and you understand more, and we all do every day, what happens to that gap? Expands. As that gap expands, we feel that gap as anxiety. As a disconnect between who we truly are, somewhere deep inside, knowing that there's something more, and between what we understand. That gap grows, we feel more and more anxious, and we can't solve it by just understanding more, by just learning more. What we're going to do today? What we're going to do today is a gift that we received at birth. A gift that we received from the first time we've been given the body. The body is ultimately the canvas in which all of this happens. Thought, the emotion, physical experience, action, and knowledge. The perception of reality, it all happens in the same place, in the body. And we already have all that which we need. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our body and our inner experiences to bridge the gap. We're going to pay attention to the being. We're going to start with the energy. We're going to experience the emotion. We're going to notice the thoughts. We're going to free our body to feel. And we're going to take it into movement and posture, if necessary, as part of the action. We're going to use the body, something we already have, as a means to take us to that new state of unity. And as we will allow that to happen, we will ultimately start feeling something different about ourselves, within ourselves. Our inner dialogue will change. Our perspective on things we know and already understand will start shifting. And through that lens, suddenly nothing else added, no other information learned. Through that inner experience alone, our world will change as we know it. And nobody from the outside will be able to tell. They won't know. You're the same. But you're not the same. Just like often they don't know when you're in pain. They won't know when you're aware. And that's okay. They will recognize it in your action. They will recognize it in your words. And when you say, when you don't say, how you say it. They will see it, but not instantly. But the one thing that will change is the spark in your eye. Fair enough? From the inside out. We will go through this process right now, using our body as a canvas. Okay? And see what happens. We don't know. You know what's the most beautiful thing that we're going to do today? You won't guess. I won't tell you what to expect. I'm going to allow you to experience. I'm going to gift you that ability to surprise yourself. I'm going to inspire you for ultimate freedom without trying to contain. And you will see what happens when that happens. Yes? That makes sense? I'm not going too fast, am I? And it's fun. Everybody's serious. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 5 minutes. And then we're going to come back to our chairs. And then we're going to begin at our chair. And then we're going to actually stand up after that. To understand that it's a true physical experience. Okay? 5 minutes. And we're going to come back. Unless you have questions, and I'll answer a little bit if you want. No questions. Good. Yes.
Can you show us like how to control the energy?
We're going to start at the beginning.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. Depending on the group, I will take it as far as I can. Okay?
They couldn't get us up behind that time. But there's always more than others, right? So it's when you talk to something that there's something that talking in here that's a lot. Just toss it out. And I have others. If they were going to use the body report,
Should we get a yoga mat?
No, not unless you really want to.
She's wearing shoes.
She, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Maybe we would be lying down or something.
there's a lot of junk in it.
The challenge with the mat, guys, let me explain. The challenge with the mat is that if you have a mat, you're gonna try and stay on it, right? And the whole idea is not to try and limit yourself. So because she's got the shoes on, we don't want her to step on the floor. So she has a mat. But ultimately, we didn't warn anybody that we're gonna have to take the shoes off. But ultimately, not having a mat is an advantage because then you are free to not have to fit in it. We're talking about freedom that we're gonna experience, and then the mat would restrict you to trying to fit into it. It's not what you want to do. Okay? Okay. Are we ready? Is everybody here already? Okay, let's begin. We're gonna begin from a sitting, so please take your seats. Now, as we're sitting down, what's important about sitting down? What we need is to find, because what we want to do is experience it without any restrictions, which means as we're sitting down, we want not to have anything in our hands, not to hold anything in our hands, because if we're holding something, we're restricting ourselves. So I would, advise whatever you're holding, put it under your chair, put it down, not to have it with you. Second, to sit down deep into your chair, right? So your back is against the back of the chair. Now, the reason for that is because I would like you to free your body. And if you're not with your back against the chair, you would have to hold it up. And I don't want you to hold anything up. Let the chair hold you, right? So you lean against the chair ultimately. Another thing is not to cross your legs, because that is not the most natural posture. That's a posture when we're closing down. We want to just be open. So keep your legs not crossed. The same thing with hands. The most natural posture actually is laying them down against your feet. Why? Because if we are putting them open, that means we're conditioning ourselves. That open is receiving, closed is not receiving. There's some kind of condition. What we want to do in this initial exercise that we're going to do together is to try not to condition ourselves as much as possible. So you're sitting down deep in your chair, so you don't have to hold your body, but lean against the chair. You put your hands in the most relaxed position as you can. And having your glasses on top of your head may, at some point, help you lose them. So not to lose your glasses, right? And the next thing that I will ask you to do is to actually close your eyes. But I always say, you're allowed to peek and see what I'm doing, because I know a lot of you are curious to see what Eric is going to be doing. So you're allowed to peek, but once you peek and you understand what I'm doing, I may be standing up or still sitting down, as I'm going to raise that energy, then please close your eyes back again. Reason why? Because with open eyes, we will naturally have a tendency to be distracted by what others are doing, by what I'm doing, by what's in the room. By closing your eyes, you get an opportunity to better experience what's happening inside of you, in that body, on that canvas that we're going to be working on, right? And as we say, there are no expectations. No expectations means that I know that you've been meditating before, and I know you know what those other meditations are supposed to do. Some meditations, you quiet your mind. Don't do that here, not right now. Don't quiet your mind. If your mind will quiet on its own, let it be quiet. If it's not quiet, let it be exactly the way it is. Don't try and quiet. Don't think of one thing, don't repeat a mantra. Don't try and see any color. Don't try and invite anything. Don't try and push anything away. I'll give you an example. The best example for this is if you've ever been on water. Have you been on water? And on water, there's only one rule. Let the water hold you. Don't try anything. And guess what will happen? It will hold you. The moment you try something, the moment you stress, the moment you start thinking, guess what happens? It doesn't hold you anymore. Interestingly enough, right? The moment you let it hold you, right? You let it go. Just let go. The way you are, nothing more. It will hold you. The same thing here. Just be the way you are. No expectation, no judgment, no special instructions, nothing at all. Meantime, I will start raising the energy. The reason why we want to experience the truth of this moment, as you are, as many people as are here, so will be different experiences. And all of them are welcome. You cannot make a mistake. You cannot make a mistake. Fair enough? Okay, so let's close our eyes. Let's close our eyes, and I'll instruct you from there. Very good. I'll be a few minutes. I'm going to be quiet, give you the time to experience whatever that will happen. And after that, I will start bringing your attention to a few things. That's all. Excellent. So as you are sitting down, what I would like you to do is to mentally, not physically, mentally, with your attention, to pay attention to your hands and wrists. Just to pay mental attention to your hands and wrists. That's all. And ask yourself the question, what do my hands and wrists feel? What is it that I'm feeling there? Is it heavy? Is it light? Maybe nothing changed. Just observe. We're not looking for anything. We're looking for just initiate the power of paying attention. Nothing more. Good. Excellent. Again, whatever it is that you're feeling is great. Just pay attention. At the same time, as you're paying attention to your hands and wrists, pay attention to your head. Without moving it, just pay mental attention to your head and your neck. And ask yourself the question, is my head and neck heavy or light? Just ask that question. See what will come. And if it's heavy, ask yourself, if I was going to let go of my head, where would it go? Which direction would it go? Maybe it will tilt. So if there's a little bit of a sense of heaviness, let go of the neck and see which direction the head would go. Just follow it and let it go that way, even if it's uncomfortable. Even if it's uncomfortable. Trust me. We're starting the process of what we call self-regulation, where you allow your head and your neck to guide you. The rest of your body is held by the chair. You're leaning against the chair, so you're supported, so you don't have to. So you can free your head and see which way it's going. And just follow it. Without a doubt, just follow where it's going. And trust it, as far as it wants. Even if it's a little uncomfortable. Let it surprise you, right? We're going into the unknown right now. We're allowing our body to show us. We just raise the energy, and the body is starting to show us. Whichever way it wants to go. Trusting your own body is important. Your body will never show you something that it does not need. Good. Trust it fully. As far as it wants. Even if it's a little uncomfortable, just notice. Just notice. Even more freedom. Now we're working on trust. We're working on trusting our own body to guide us. Remember we said this is our canvas right now. We came with a fresh page. Now there is a certain sensation. We notice that. Then the body expresses into movement. We note and we allow. Even if you're not sure, do it anyway. We don't wait until we're sure. That would not be guidance, right? That would be knowing. Recognize that you cannot make a mistake. It's impossible. How you are right now is how it is. You cannot make a mistake. If you feel it, great. If you don't, great. Beautiful. Excellent. More free. That's all. Just trust your body. No rush. Take your time. There we go. Take your time and listen. Remember, the only thing I'm guiding you in right now is to be free. That's all. All those words. Just one thing I want is for you to be true to this moment and free yourself as if you're laying in water. Let it take you. Trust in your own body. Beautiful. As far as it wants, and then don't correct it anymore. Let it continue. It's a continuous. Yeah, it's a continuous thing. Yeah. Then it will show you more. You know, energy likes it when you notice it. When you notice it, it shows you more. Let it. Let it show you more. You cannot make a mistake. More freedom. Trust your body all the way. Whatever it wants. Let it surprise you. If it's surprising you, then you're doing it right. If it's surprising you, then you're doing it right. Notice how it's the opposite from everything we do. Let it surprise you. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. I feel that agreement. The moment we feel that agreement, it starts becoming more evident of what it wants. Beautiful. More freedom. Trust. More freedom. Now the arms can go anywhere they want. Freedom completely. Yes. Beautiful. Whatever they want. That's it. That's it. Trust. Trust your body to guide you. That's it. Let it surprise you. Let it surprise you. There's a lot of inner experiences I'm not mentioning, but very unique to you. If there's a struggle, it's also yours. If there's a release, it's also yours. It's all good. It's all good. Letting that energy resonate and guide the body. We call it self-regulation. We had a connection with energy first, and now it begins self-regulating, basically completing the energy flow, as we described in the order of things. You will notice emotions happen first and thoughts, and then the body senses on the physical level, and then the action state is really the movement of the body, the movement of the spine. That's the action state. Just as we said it. Nothing different. Let it surprise you. You cannot make a mistake. Allow yourself to breathe as well. Don't hold that breath. Sometimes when we pay attention too much to something, unconsciously we hold that breath. Don't hold that breath. Free your breath. That's it. Let it dance. Beautiful. Even more freedom. In a few moments, we will actually stand up. Now you will understand why standing up is important, because then when you stand up, your entire spine will be free. Right now, it's purposely held back by the chair so you can free your head and your neck. Good. Good. Relax into the direction it's going. Relax into the direction it's going. Freeing yourself, surprising yourself. Naturally. We're not trying anything. Actually, the opposite of trying. This is the experience, the opposite of trying. Just letting. See how hard it is sometimes? Just let. Good. Let it guide you. You're almost as if you are the observer of your experience. Let it guide you. That's it. Let it guide you. That's it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Even more freedom. In a few moments, we're going to stand up and see what the body does from a standing posture. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Even more freedom. Yeah. Now, if you can, without opening your eyes, if you have to, you can open your eyes. I would like you to slowly straighten up and stand up, please. It's necessary to give the freedom to the full freedom to the spine. And then just take a place in the room where you feel comfortable. Good. Good. What we're going to do right now is, as we stand up, your feet are a little bit wider than usual, at the width of your shoulders. Your feet are wider than usual, at the width of your shoulders. Your hands are free to your sides. And exactly the same freedom that you gave yourself when you were sitting down, you are now free to let yourself go from a standing posture. Pay mental attention, as we just did, sitting down, to your hands and wrists. Beautiful. Mental attention to your hands and wrists. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. Knees are not locked, so you're free to move if necessary. Mental attention to your hands and wrists. Give them the freedom. Give your hands and wrists and arms freedom as if you're observing somebody else. They're completely free. Free your head and your neck. Let the head and the neck lead as it started. The freedom of the spine. The dance where the choreographer is inside. Free the shoulders. Free between the shoulders. Free the lower back. And just listen to the body. Nothing more. Just listen. The heaviness is guiding you. The lightness is guiding you. Just let it guide you. Beautiful. Gravity is your friend. So don't resist gravity. Whatever it's pulling, go with it. Go with it, wherever it's pulling. And trust it. Trust it within you. Just as you are. As a child at play. As a child at play. The choreographer is within you. You cannot make a mistake. As the pants of our young participant says, be you. Just be you in this life. Nothing more. That's it. You cannot make a mistake. As you are, let it surprise you. It's the key to what we're doing right now. We want to open ourselves to that which we do not know to desire. The only way to do that is to follow up our body, to trust our body, and be surprised. Be surprised. That's it. Whatever it wants is good. Wherever it's going is good. Stillness or movement. This is how it all begins. From the inside out. We're learning how to allow that energy that we're now feeling to resonate within us and to follow through the order of things without us limiting ourselves or limiting the energy because of some kind of belief or misunderstanding or limited desire based on some predisposition. No. No limitation. Beautiful. Amazing. Excellent. Just like that. More freedom. I'm going to raise the energy a little higher. Notice the change of energy. Notice. You'll feel it. Trust it. Remember, you cannot make a mistake. Even if you're not sure, do it anyway. The moment you allow it, it will show you more. It will become more real and take you places you didn't know you could go. It could remind you of something you already know, or it could surprise you in something beautiful. Excellent. There. Trust it and no expectation. Be surprised of where the body is going, what it's feeling. Be surprised at the stillness. Be surprised at the movement. Be surprised at the thought. Be surprised at the breath. Be surprised at the image. Be surprised at the guidance. Open yourself to that which you do not know to desire the best you can. Trusting your body to show you, allowing it fully to express, not holding back because you're unsure, but letting go, letting it guide you and hold you as it knows how. Your body knows everything you do and more. Your body knows everything you do and more. Trust it even more. Trust it even more. You're trying too hard. You're trying too hard. Stop trying. Nothing to try. As it is, as you are right now. Nothing to try. You're perfect. Just let it go. No expectations, no judgment. You cannot go wrong. This is the time. When was the last time you knew within you that you cannot go wrong? That you will not judge yourself and no one else will? Just as you are. When was that last time that you gave yourself that kind of freedom? Do it now. If it takes you down, it takes you down. Go from there. Trust. Whatever it wants, let it surprise you. If you're surprised, you're doing it right. That's it. Very unique moment-to-moment expression, experience. Sometimes it's very evident, sometimes it's not so evident. Sometimes it's only internal, sometimes it's external, sometimes it's the combination. Your unique postures to this moment. All the way, all the way. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. Two more minutes, I'm gonna raise the energy a little bit higher. 2 more minutes. Give it all the freedom you can have. All the freedom. No limitation. All the freedom, yes. All the freedom. No limitations. No restrictions. No doubt. No doubt. That's it. All the freedom. 1 more minute. All the freedom. Twenty seconds. 10, Beautiful. Take your time. As you're ready, you can open your eyes. And let's find our seats again. Congratulations, Tom. Very good. Very good. Now, the energy doesn't stop just because you open your eyes, but we have full control over what happens with our body, right? So, energy continues. Anybody wants to share any experiences, any aha moments, any surprises? Yes.
I felt my hands really hot.
Hot. As you were sitting, or when you stood up, or all this
I was
time?
walking,
Right.
so hot, it's like a fire.
Right.
Then close to each other, and then it was like a magnet.
Wow. The hands are the most sensitive part of our body. We heal with our hands, we say hello with our hands, we say goodbye with our hands. If we can't speak, we use our hands to speak. Every gesture we have is our hands. Our hands have all the meridians flowing through them. When we are in full unity, our hands come together in front of our chest, and it doesn't matter what country you're from and what you follow. It's a natural posture of unity with the hands coming in front of your hands. When we are seeking help, we open up with our hands. Our hands are the most sensitive. This is why I advise you to pay attention to your hands first, right? Because usually, it's where we start sensing first the changes. Right? Good. Any other surprises? How are you feeling right now?
Okay. Still go back.
You could still go back. You like that? Did you see any colors? Because you're very visual.
Yes. See blue
Blues.
and purple.
Blue and purple. Does it have a shape when you look at it, or is it cloud?
One of them cloud, one cloud fuchsia purple.
Uh-huh.
That's my favorite color, maybe that's why. It was a shape, like some shape.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Then with my hands, it was like even now, see, I feel like it's magnet with my hand.
Beauty. It's beauty and harmony.
It's just,
We just started. Imagine. Any surprises?
Took me a little while to get going.
Okay. And was that a surprise?
No.
Right.
Which is interesting because I've taken dance my whole life, so I thought it would be a little bit easier actually, but it was. My head kept wanting to go forward. My
Did
head
you
was
allow it?
very heavy. Yes.
Okay. Did you find your body go into some postures?
I was on the ground.
Right.
More, but my arms were flowing.
Right.
But my head kept wanting to go down towards the ground.
Perfect. Now, interesting thing between the two of you, we just learned something. The hands are very powerful. They get hot because they're giving and receiving. It's the power of the beauty and harmony, and that's the highest level of sensitivity. The inner vision has a vibration of color that actually shows us what quality of energy we're experiencing. That color which you saw was the colors of unity. Okay, the purple is the color of unity.
That's my favorite color. Whenever I close my eyes, I like to see.
Do you notice what you're standing on?
Sorry?
Even that came to you.
Yeah.
And you're the only one standing on it. So that's beautiful, yeah. Another thing that we recognize is that we're starting to understand where all those postures came from, because we know yoga, we know Tai Chi, we know shamanic dance, we know healing hands, we know all those. But we thought that somehow we know dance. We thought that it's somehow something that we taught from the outside in. Once we learn the movement, once we know the postures, we hopefully feel that unifying energy that those postures are supposed to bring us to. What we're trying to recognize right now is, how do we find that unity before the posture and allow our body to now meet the posture where the energy is, ultimately expressing our unique integration of all ancient arts, including the ones that may have not been so easily discovered. Suddenly we have a unique opportunity for a unique movement and posture that is only true and a combination of any unique movements and postures, right? Integrative experience. Who's to say yoga is better than Tai Chi? But suddenly we have a unique opportunity, if we're working from the inside out, to have an integrative, unique combination of movements, of postures, and experiences of inner vision, breath, movement, and posture, which are unique to the moment and time to us, based on the true unique need that we have at this moment. As many of you are here, so would be the different experiences awakened from the inside. What's the difference? The difference ultimately is this, that when you are learning the posture from the outside in, there's always a gap. You're learning the posture, the energy is still not there, it's still not in full unity. When we're working from the inside out, it's always in unity, because the posture basically expresses the energy. So it's in constant unity. By that, to some degree, meeting what we already know, but ultimately having the in-betweens and bringing to a much faster awareness. No trial and error, no learning curve, always in true unity. Not having to choose one modality over another, but ultimately experiencing all modalities and more, unique to each moment as the needs, as our body guides us into. Does that make sense? Is it too big? All right? And you know who can sense it best? How old are you there? Sorry, your name is? Indigo, right. How could I forget? What color is the mat? Indigo. What color is your pillow? Purple, right? Yeah. Beautiful. Now, a child, open, pure, does not have a limitation, fear of not looking the right way, has the ability. This is how I learned. This is how I recognize yoga postures were actually awakened, not with the adults. Adults held back. I had a few children come in and suddenly, boom, they expressed yoga postures which they've never done before, and the parent is looking at them and saying, hold on a second, where did they know? They saw it on video maybe they were doing perfect sound because it was for them. And they'd never seen them before. They couldn't. They had their eyes closed in it. Nobody taught them, nobody told them. The parents knew those postures. Indigo, did you have some postures? Right? Amazing. Thank you for your freedom. How old are you? 9 years old. Okay, 9 is already very, very grown up. I'm sorry, I thought, yeah, 9 is grown up. We understand now where the postures came from. The natural expression. Except why this posture, not another? Right,
What's with the kind of morning?
right. Have you done yoga before?
Yes.
Do you have a posture of the head going down?
I like child's pose.
Right. Your body was taking in that posture because you needed it right now. And when you don't need it, it will take you to another. How are you feeling about it?
Very good.
Very good.
Very calm.
And confident. And clear.
Yes.
And you're glowing right now. I'm not going to be the only one to say it. Right? Thank you. Was it difficult? How are you feeling?
I feel good because I was brought up, my parents taught me hard work, my grandmothers and everything.
Right.
I used to have a musician next door to me.
Right.
He told me all these students would come from the Royal Conservatory of Music at the U of T.
Right.
Because he told me all these students pay all kinds of money, their parents are wealthy. It was very interesting. He said they tell the students from a young age they have to practice from morning to night.
Yes.
For years and years and years. And 80% of them, just after a while, because they get conditioned, they get
Right.
and they just drop out, even if they have gifts and talents. So they've come to him. This is a simple guy,
Right.
not very bright. He told me he showed them the 8 notes.
Right.
And he said, just learn this.
Right.
Next thing you know, all the students, he had all these students, because at the conservatory, they're just drumming it into them.
From the outside in, and he allowed them to feel that experience.
Yeah, this guy was having students. I was surprised because I thought, U of T, Royal Conservatory, big reputation, big money, and all this. But they would come to him. He would just blossom from him.
Right.
Like you said, from the inside.
Right.
They were drilling into his head. I think society, all this internet, all this information, you have to do this, and this. It's not that complicated because they're forcing it into us, and we sort of back down. It makes us clouded.
Yeah. A lot of the things that we learn, we may or may not need. When we start from the inside, we only experience that what we need. This time, this moment, what our body needs. Our body has the answers. Raise the energy, allow it to guide you, and the next step is learn how to work with your body and not against it, where the mind becomes the power that not holds you back, but actually works in parallel with the needs. Beautiful. Thank you for the freedom there. How did it go?
For me, I started to relax.
Right.
At the very beginning, I was feeling my body.
Right.
Jerking forward, but then it felt almost like I woke up. I had my first time relaxing again.
Right. And when I told you to stop trying, was it easier?
I figured that was meant for me.
It wasn't meant for you, it was meant for everybody.
Was it? But
I hope everybody felt that it was
Yeah.
meant for them.
I was seeing colors.
Yes.
I see them very easy. I
Right.
meditate, they come very, very
Right.
quickly. That's all I could
Okay.
release after that.
How are you feeling right now?
A little more relaxed, but I still
The
I could
need
use
to,
more. I
Right.
could do more.
we could do more. We'll do more.
Maybe not tonight.
We'll do more.
Oh,
We'll do more. Why hold back? We're doing so well. How did it go? Mm-hmm.
Well,
What surprised you?
well, I had an experience that was very similar to what happened to me when I went to Wanderlust during the breathing exercise,
Okay.
which I backed right off of because I had to, meet with the girl afterwards and do a photo shoot and all that. So
What surprised you?
the surprise was that how easy it was for me to get back into that,
Into the familiar?
into the unfamiliar.
Ah.
I realize like I'm a very in control person, and I manage everything like really well, and I'm very calm, and I never cry. Like I'm really hold it together, and I felt a lot of grief tonight, and I realized that like my mother died about 3 years ago, and and I got divorced at the same time, and a whole series of things that were really stressful happened, but I just put it on the list and got through everything, and I realized that I never had a chance to grieve my mother's death. So I'm not a crier, I'm not a, mourner. I just, try to take care of things. So I realize I'm in a place maybe right now where I need to address grieving some of the loss in my life and difficulties that I had during that time frame and sort of now. And so, it's sort of weird because I'm like, I don't want to sit around crying about things because I don't really need to cry out of pity. Like it's more like I haven't really processed those things, and so I think when these guys said they wanted to come tonight, I was like, no, I'm busy tonight, and then I realized I told them later in the day, I said, no, I'm actually not busy. I realized I didn't want to come because of the experience I had when I meditated a month ago. I realized it's going to force me
To be yourself for a moment without having to control.
I guess that's
You know that people actually cry when they're happy too?
No, oh yeah.
Is that okay to cry when we're happy?
Oh yeah, like I have no problem with people cry. I can't tap into that. I think there's just too many layers of.
You can't?
I have trouble, yeah. So. But
When you try?
Well, it's not like I'm trying to do it, but when I'm.
Please, let her speak.
I guess I'm not trying to cry or not cry, or I don't know, maybe I am, but I just realized that the authenticity of the deeper feeling I have about it is buried, and maybe that's where these pressure points are holding me back and holding on. Right?
Do you notice how much more your back is right now?
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you notice how you're sitting up without effort?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Remember we talked about posture when it's natural?
Right, yeah.
After that experience, whatever that was, how we try and rationalize it, suddenly the body straightened up.
Yeah,
Natural.
yeah. So that's a really good point.
Thank you. Yeah. Please share with us. What surprised you?
Lots of different things. Realizing how much tension and stiffness was built up in my body, and trying to let go of it, but not. I don't know, it was kind of hard. It was sort of like a pushing and pulling inside myself, trying to figure out where the tension actually was coming from.
Right.
And squatting down and reaching around and trying to figure out where the blocks were. And then at a certain point, everything just went quiet. And I felt like I was floating in water with bright yellow sun coming through my eyes.
Yes.
And the need to do nothing. Just stand there and just be in this yellow light, like floating in the coast of the water off of Italy.
Right.
Like I kind of felt like I was back there a long time ago with my wife. And I'd never taken a vacation, I never stopped, and it took me 3 days to relax enough to actually, and then I didn't want to go. And I was like, oh, this is amazing.
So there was a memory in your body of that freedom which was awakened, and then the mind connected to the sensations were so familiar and gave you an image. I'm trying to show you the order of things.
Mhm.
Okay? That it was an emotion that was awake, the energy, emotion awakened, a sensation of the body that led to an image which was familiar because there was the inside, the internal resonance. That was the memory. So the image. The same thing for you. The sensation was familiar, and it reminded you of that breathing exercise. The same thing here. The sensation was familiar, reminded you somewhat of that dance or not dance, or that posture or not posture, and allowed you to be guided. Right?
And now my back doesn't hurt. Before, when we were sitting listening to your talk, I was like, my back was tweaking and sore, and now this.
Thank you. And the key is that we did not address the need to heal it.
No, it was just letting go.
That's the key. We're not trying to heal anything. We're not trying to fix our confidence. We're not trying to fix our clarity. We're not trying to try and release emotions. We're not trying anything at all. It's a byproduct based on the unique need of each person in this room, which naturally awakens, completes, and then it goes to the next. Guess what? We have other things we can awaken and help with. But it will take its time based on priority and based on the quality of energy. It will know what to do. That's the beauty. We don't have to wait until we fully understand anything, because the body knows everything we need to know already. Give it the energy, give it the freedom, and use the mind in the right way, not to interfere, but to help it. And there's some things that you can reach, potential that you have inside. You won't reach anything that you don't already have inside. That's the one thing I can't do for you. You have such an unlimited potential. And you know that's why you're here. Remember we talked about that potential pulling, pushing from the inside, trying to break through. That's why we have such feeling of disconnect sometimes. Beautiful. Anything surprised you?
Not surprising, it was more just an evolution.
Okay.
Disappearing.
Okay.
Just becoming seen.
Okay.
But I can see through my body.
Right.
See with my body.
Right.
They're just glimpses of getting glimpses of the room. Glimpses of going in and out of that.
Right.
Just allowing myself to let go so my body can teach me how to see without my hands.
And freedom of movement, the expression.
I'm okay with it. I've always had it. And I've had that. Yeah. That's okay.
Good. Thank you for the freedom. Questions? We're going to do it again, if you don't mind. Unless you're really in a hurry. We'll do another 15 minutes if you wish. Yes? Okay. Okay. So, we do it, yes? Unless there's a question that's holding somebody back from doing it. No? Okay. We're going to do it for another 15 minutes. But we're going to start from a standing posture, where there's full freedom in the spine. One thing I just want to mention that, you know, the heaviness of the body? We feel that heaviness of the body only when we're tired. That's how we're familiar with that heaviness. Lightness is when we're aware and heaviness when we're tired. So usually we associate that sensation of heaviness with tiredness. The thing is, no matter what time it is right now, when we raise the energy, that heaviness is now not a result of tiredness. It's a result of that heaviness is part of how the body guides you. So if you feel heavy, please don't resist what you would do normally when you're tired. You would resist the heaviness, kind of try and bring it back, straighten up, control the body so you are awake. What we're trying to do here is to actually follow that heaviness as guidance. So gravity and that heaviness is actually a way in which the body guides us into movements and posture. Just like lightness would. So is heaviness. So please, if you would, if you do feel heaviness, follow that heaviness. See where it takes you. Angles, postures, whatever it goes. On the floor, from the floor. Whatever it wants, yeah? Feel free. No limitation, no judgment. You are not going to look different. I've seen it all. Everybody else has their eyes closed. Okay? Good. We're going to stand up, put everything away, and give a good 15 minutes for this, and then we're done. Excellent. Okay. So, feet are a little bit wider than usual. Wider than usual, so it will give us that balance, so we can, knees are not locked, hands and arms free to your sides. Relaxing the head and the neck and the shoulders, relaxing it in such a way where you're elastic, right? You're allowing it to kind of dance if it wants to, right? You're not resisting it. If it pushes, move, bend forward. If it pulls back, relax backwards and let it kind of dance, okay? I don't want to instruct you too much. I just want to show you that there's no limitation, okay? You don't go further than it wants. You don't try and go into posture, but you also don't resist and you kind of follow where it's going, right? Relax into the direction that it's going. Martial arts, yoga, Tai Chi, breathing, sounding, all good. Let it all express. I'm going to raise the energy and we'll go from there. Okay, please. Eyes closed. Beautiful. Mental attention to hands and wrists. First, they're the most sensitive. Trust them. Trust them to show. I'm going to raise the energy. There. And you're free. Beautiful. And you're free. As far as it wants, don't hold yourself back. Don't try and find a comfortable posture. Be true to what it wants. And relax into it. Relax into it. Relax into it. Let it hang. Let it pull. Let it push. Just relax into it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. As far as it wants. Whatever it wants. No limitation. Excellent. Beautiful. Even more freedom. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to be as you are, as it is. Take that mask off. You won't be judged, not by yourself, not by others. There's no limit to what the body can show you. Not always it's pleasant, but the byproduct of it is a new perspective, a new relation with self, which is much more rewarding, just that much more rewarding. It all starts with that relation to self, that inner dialogue. We're very hard on ourselves. Even more freedom. Even more freedom. Feel it, feel it, feel every moment of that stress, tension, movement, and just relax into that direction. Don't wait. Just observe where it's taking you. Simple, simple, observe where it's taking you. And feel it all the way in the body. Feel it, feel it, feel it. As you are, no limitation. Every moment is true to this moment. Let it express. Stillness or movement, all the same. Raise the energy a little higher. Notice the changes. Even more freedom. Try less. This is kind of the opposite. We're so conditioned that if we don't feel that tension inside of trying, maybe we're not doing enough. And here's the opposite sensation inside. A sensation of not trying is the way. It's the opposite of what we're used to. Notice. Letting go right now is strength. And not the trying, which is the opposite feeling inside. Notice that. That's it. That's it. We're not looking for that. We're freeing ourselves from that. That's it. Like a leaf in the wind. Letting it surprise you. Letting it surprise you. Letting you guide you from one movement to another, from one sensation to another. Even more freedom. Even more. Right, 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 right. Right. Beautiful. Trust, trust. Trust. That's just as you are. More freedom. More freedom. All the way, as far as it wants. As far as it wants. No limitation, no restriction. Let it surprise you. I know I'm repeating myself, but we also have to remind ourselves all the time we have a conditioned response of survival, and survival response is holding back, not trusting the body, trying to control, trying to expect, trying to understand. That's a survival natural response. We're not going against it, but there's another part of us that can go above it and recognize how we are trying to hold back and remind ourselves again and again to let go, to be free, to trust our own body, to trust the energy that we're working with right now to guide us. I'm going to raise the energy a little higher. We have 2 more minutes of freedom. Let's maximize what we can. Let go even more. Try less. Trust your body. Let it surprise. Notice the shift of energy. I'm going to raise it a little bit. Notice the change. Take your time. You've done beautiful. As soon as you're ready, And open your eyes. Have a seat. Congratulations. Even better. The most beautiful thing about what we're doing is that because it's not at the level of the mind, because it's not information, every experience that we reach, it's yours. Because it's embodied. Because it's now at the level of being. It's not at the level of knowing. It's a new state of being. It's a new state of self-identity every single time. What's another interesting thing about what we're doing is that today's highs are tomorrow's lows. When we continue working with this, that expansion that we just began has the ability to ultimately go further, where this is what we want. Today's high, whatever you're feeling great and free, relaxed, will be the lowest state tomorrow. That's what we want. Today's high and tomorrow's low. It's not something we want to keep. It's not something we want to hold on to. It's not a state you want to hold on to. Balance is dynamic because we are so far behind of what our true potential inside. The last thing you want is to exert your energies to hold on to something you've achieved. So today's high will be tomorrow's lows as we continue to expand. Questions?
But I was in the water.
Wow.
I grew purple.
Right.
I always see these colors.
Good.
I was
Interesting.
in the water. An ocean or something.
Right.
Strange.
Yeah.
My hands not as much like the first time.
Right.
But I felt a few times.
Remember that what we're trying to do is not to repeat what we know. If it comes, it comes. But if not, we allow the next. Ultimately, we're working on being surprised. So if you had heat before and suddenly you didn't, that is a surprise.
Yeah.
We maybe expected it again, but it wasn't there. Excellent. Don't hold on to the images as well. I know sometimes we've reached a certain level that we self-identify with, and we're proud to have good sensations. We're proud to have good movement. We're proud to have good imagery. And then suddenly we don't receive it. We seek it. We desire it. It would be not, I mean, if you ask, it can come. But it would not be true to this moment. It will show your ability, but it would not be part of transformation. Transformation is when you go into something you don't know to desire. When you don't take something familiar and bring it into the state today, and just for the sake of feeling empowered by something that you already know and understand and comfortable in. The opposite. You leave it. And when it comes, you recognize that it came for a reason. And when it doesn't come, you recognize you did not need it right now. You're not looking for comfort. You're not looking to bring comfort right now. Comfort is a byproduct. And comfort that we seek is not in the meditation. That was a meditation. Comfort we seek is not in our experience. The comfort we seek is in the new perspective of life that we receive from that, in the new experience of the body, in the new direction that we're guided towards, in the new inner dialogue that we experience from that point. and they relate to everything we know, the new values we receive from what we've already done. There, we're looking for reward, not in the meditation, not in the practice. In the practice, we open ourselves to that which we don't know to desire. And we've done the beginning steps of that. We connected to energy, we allowed self-regulation. That's what beginning steps. That's the basic. From here, there is a way to grow, but this is the base, this is the platform from which we start. This is not a place we will reach. This is not our goal. This is where we start. Now, if you so choose, we can learn how and where to apply our mind as I said, in parallel to the experience, to empower this even further. Mind is the most powerful tool, but we're yet to learn how to work it so it does not interfere based on expectations, based on, temptations to feel familiar and empower ourselves in it. That limits us sometimes for many years. And it's not because it's not comfortable. It's the comfortable that holds us back. It's the comfortable that holds us back, not the uncomfortable. The uncomfortable pushes us to open up. If everything was okay and you're very comfortable, you wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't seek to open up. You would just stay where you are. We have to use that opportunity. Uncomfortable is an opportunity to grow. Questions from me? Questions now?
I had the exact opposite of what I had previous time.
Right.
It was
Beautiful.
more wanting to extend and reach out as opposed to my head being
Were you surprised?
very surprised.
The reason is that you've already completed that which you knew before at that stage of movement, and the next movement was expansion because you were more flexible already after that. Flexibility is youthfulness. Flexibility of the body and flexibility of the mind come together. Thank you. Thank you for the freedom. How do you feel right now?
Amazing.
Amazing. Amazing is good. How did it go?
I'm usually pretty tense. And
Right.
I'm learning to let it go.
Yes, I understand.
Because when I was brought up, you gotta work strict. My parents were strict.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think the harder you try, the more you fall back.
Right. So the whole key here is to let go. That's our strength. You know that sensation of I'm trying? We were proud to feel that. Because that was the only way to know we're going forward. And now we have to let go for it to go forward. What kind of a... We used to be proud to stay on our feet. And now going down on the floor is to go forward? How do you identify yourself with that? We were told not to go down. Get up. Stop fidgeting. Stand up straight. Stop crying. You're not a child anymore. Suck it in. And so on, yeah.
On the way over here,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lady stepped on a man's foot.
Right.
Sir, this blew my mind because I didn't go up this way. The man was sitting down, looked like he was about to cry.
Right.
Simply,
Right.
he sat down, he was
Right.
he just stepped on my foot.
Well, obviously, it was more than just the pain. It was traumatized. I guess maybe it was. Often we react not to what happened, but to what that represents for us inside. So maybe at that point, he was at a place where that was more than just stepping on the foot. Because I doubt any man, or even a child, step on their foot, they're uncomfortable, but they move on. So there was something more to that. Yeah, there was something. I doubt it was just a regular experience. Thank you, but you understand that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
it's very, very, very powerful. Questions?
No, I felt a little more relaxed this time.
Right.
Still have work to do, but at least I guess we all do, don't we?
The moment we think we have no more work to do, we know we're in trouble.
Yes.
We know we're in trouble, right?
Yeah, it was a bit easier this time.
Good.
No colors, but a little more relaxed.
More trust in your body. Good. How you feeling about?
Just like a bedtime, so.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. How's the mind going?
A bit clearer.
Right. So an observation, just for everybody to notice. Tiredness usually means the mind is not clear. So if you feel heavy, when we're tired, our mind is not clear. So if we feel heavy in the body, it resembles tiredness, but our mind is clear, it's not tired. Okay. It's just that heaviness. Like I said just a few moments ago, often the only time we allow ourselves to be free, the only time we allow that heaviness and feel that heaviness is when we're tired. So there is an association of the mind. I'm tired. And the mind is not clear. Anyway, just observation. Questions?
No, it's just a really cool play between every time I would fall into the darkness of the mind, the body would shut down, went to sleep. But the moment I let go, and I could almost like see the light in my body would wake up and start doing its thing.
Right.
So it's a beautiful kind of like learning to play with that. Come out of the mind and let the body be awake.
Good.
That's what I can describe.
How you feeling about it? Good,
Yeah. So I mean, yes. Mentally, it is bedtime for me because I haven't had a lot of sleep. Or something.
Right.
But other than that, I'm good.
Yeah. Positive.
Always.
Questions in the back? Questions? No questions? No questions. Time is coming, bedtime for everyone. So we're gonna say thank you. But before we say thank you, if you wish to continue, we will be here with an advanced group next week on Monday. We're gonna be here with an advanced group before 7:30. So if you wish to continue and learn the next step of what to do and how to do it on your own, you're welcome to join us at 7:30. Those who will arrive, if you want to bring somebody with you, if they want to experience it, they're welcome to as well. And we're gonna give you another chance to take it to the next level next week. And other than that, reach me through email if you wish. I'll answer any questions if you have later. If you want to share some experiences later, I'll read them. I will respond back to you. And my email that I want you to, so I'll know it's coming from the group. Email me at hello@ericwaldman.com. That's the email. You won't forget it, right?
Is that on a piece of paper or something?
Probably yes.
Can you write it on the board and then?
Yes. Well, hello. You know when you say hello?
Yeah.
So that's my name. .com. If you want to say hello to me, then it will be easy to remember. Yeah. So it's hello at Eric Waldman .com.
Eric, yeah, I want to be sure that I give the right answer. He was asking, can she watch this after? Please?
Can she watch this?
Is there is it recorded somewhere?
It's recorded.
So I can listen
Sure.
again if I want.
Yes, of course. You're welcome to. So just hello me, and I'll send you a link to this recording. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate your freedom. Yes. Thank you at home. Beautiful. Oops.
Good night.